Shabbat Shalom, y'all. What's up? It's that day again. Shabbat. I'm so very happy about that because it's been a long week. I'm tired, I'm drained, I'm exhausted, but I'm just thankful that Yahuwah gave us a day that we can, get ourselves back together and focus on Him. So I want to start this insight off like I start all of them with the definition of sin. And the reason why I'm always talking about the definition of sin is because we're supposed to be trying our very best to not sin. So we know what sin is, then we should be able to avoid it. And the definition of sin comes from 1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. And it reads, sin is the transgression of the law. So whenever we break the law, that's sin. The law is found in the first 5 books of the scriptures, Genesis through Deuteronomy. It's also called the Torah, the commandments, the law of Moses, and all of those names are given to it. But what it really is the instructions to live a set apart life. And set apart has been replaced with that word holy. So it's just instructions to live a good life and be pleasing to the Father, the same way that the Messiah, Yahusha, did. So this lesson right here, this insight right here is, I don't even think I can stress how important it is, because my words do it no justice. It's about the name of our Father. And before I get started, I just want you to consider, because some people say the name of our Father and of our Messiah is not important. But think about it. When you were a baby, your parents, they spent who knows how long trying to come up with the right name for you. I use myself as an example. I wanted to name my children something that was unique and that not many people had the same name. So me and my wife, we took a while to come up with the names, and we debated, we agreed, and we changed it again until we finally found the right name. And I'm sure that if you are a parent, or your parents, they probably did the same thing for you. They want to give you the right name. So how much more important is the name of our Father? It's very important. And it's important because it's a verse in the scriptures that it's kind of like a riddle, and it's kind of picking with you. And I'll read it and let you see for yourself. If you have your scriptures, which I hope you do, don't take my word for anything. Look at it. Don't take your pastor's word. Look into the scriptures and see what they say. Turn to Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4, and it reads, "Who has gone up to the heavens and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you know it?" That's kind of like a riddle, a question. And I know most people, when they see that verse, the first thing they're going to say is, "I know his name is God and his son's name is Jesus." Well, that's wrong. I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, but that's the wrong answer. And when it comes to Jesus, the letter J is no letter J in Hebrew, and we know that the Messiah was Hebrew. And pick up your encyclopedia, jump on Google, and Google when did the letter J come into existence. And it wasn't until I think around 500 or 600 years ago that they came up with the letter J. And we know that the Messiah walked the earth long before 500 years ago. So how could his name start with a J? It's not his name. But we won't discuss that this time. We'll talk about the name of the Father, because the Messiah said that the Father is greater than he. So I think, we should do his name first. And his name is not God. A lot of people will say God or something like that, but God is just a title. If you are a parent, your children probably call you mom or dad, but is that your name? So what if I called you mom or dad? You would think I was crazy, right? Because I'm not your child. So God is a title, and people from many religions call their mighty one God, Buddhism or whatever. they call that mighty one God. So it can be a name of many gods. And the word Lord, to talk about that for a second, if you have your scriptures out and you read through it and you see the words God and Lord in the scriptures, and if they are in all capital letters, that's where the name of the Father was in the original Hebrew text. So whenever you see the word Lord or the word God in all capital letters, that's what the name of the Father was. And if you count that, if you count it up, it will equal around 7,000 times that his name has been replaced with the word God and Lord. You don't have to believe me. Read the preface of your scriptures or look it up online, and they will tell you this. His name is not Lord. His name is not God. Those are titles. He has a name. And to give you a hint at his name, turn to Psalms chapter 68 and verse 4. Now, if you have the King James Version, it's going to say something different. Or if you have another version, it's going to say something different. But in the King James, it says, "Sing unto God, sing praises to his name. Extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Jah, and rejoice before him." So in the King James, it has the word Jah. But like I pointed out at the beginning of this, the letter J was not in existence, and it's still not a letter in Hebrew. It's not Jah. He gave you a hint at his name right there, and it begins with a Y. It's Yah. That's the first portion of his name. It's Yah. It's not Jah. But that's not his full name. I'm going to go ahead and give you his name. And then you can go look into it for yourself. His name is Yahuwah. Yahuwah. And it means he who exists. He is self-existent. That's what his name means. In all three tenses. I am, I was, I will be. Yahuwah. And to show you how important his name is, I'm going to go straight from the scriptures and read just, I don't know, maybe about 20 verses that all have to do with his name. So I hope you're ready. I hope you got your scriptures out, and we can go through this together to get a grasp on how important his name is. We should know his name. His name is not God. His name is not Lord. Okay. So turn to Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 27. And this is a prophecy which the Father, he's all-knowing. He knows everything. And he knew that people were going to forget his name. And they did it back then, and they're doing it now. So Jeremiah 23:27, it says, excuse me. It says, "Till when shall it be in the heart of the prophets of falsehood, and the prophets of the deceit of their own heart, who try to make people forget my name by their dreams, which everyone relates to his neighbor, as their fathers forgot my name for Baal." So in the scriptures, it says they forgot his name for Baal. Now, the funny thing about that is if you look on your Webster's online dictionary and type in the word Baal, B-A-A-L, and you will see that the word for Baal is Lord. So what this verse is saying is that they forgot his name for Lord. The same thing that people are doing today, calling him, "Oh Lord this, oh Lord that." That's not his name. He said they forgot his name for Lord. His name is important. Let's go through another scripture from Isaiah chapter 52 and verse 6. And he says, "Therefore my people shall know my name in that day, for I am the one who is speaking. See, it is I." He says my people shall know my name. Are you one of his people? Is his name important to you? He says his people will know his name. And to think about it, you don't really know a person. Well, you can know a person, but you don't know them intimately unless you know their name. You ever had a friend or somebody you knew, and all you knew them by was their nickname or something like that? And you want to figure out what their name is, because it draws you closer together when you know someone's name. Think about when you were a child and you got in trouble. What's the first thing your mom did? She called you by your whole name. She's like, "Get in here," whatever your name is, And she was stressing the importance of that, by calling you by your full name. She was getting your attention. And that's what we do when we call on him by his name, Yahuwah. Go to another scripture. Isaiah chapter 16, verse 21 says, Therefore see, I am causing them to know. This time I cause them to know my hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahuwah. Sorry, that wasn't Isaiah. That was Jeremiah 16:21. He said, and they shall know that my name is Yahuwah. Go to another scripture. Isaiah chapter 42:8. It says, I am Yahuwah. That is my name, and my esteem I do not give to another, nor my praise to idols. Now, your version of the scriptures, maybe the King James, pretty much every time you see this, it's going to say, I am the Lord. That is my name. But his name isn't Lord. Whose name is Lord? You ever saw that movie Shrek, Lord Farquaad? His name was Farquaad, but they called him Lord. This could be talking about anybody. And remember, whenever you see the word Lord and God in capital letters, is where they replaced his name and put Lord and God in, because it's a long story behind that. But the scribes, they said that his name was too holy to utter, so they replaced it. But he says to call on his name. He says, my people shall know my name. So I keep going through these scriptures, and hope of what I'm trying to do is just give you, just show you how important his name is by using the scriptures. So this is coming from Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 58 and 59. It says, if you do not guard to do all the words of this Torah that are written in this book, to fear this esteemed and awesome name, Yahuwah your Elohim, then Yahuwah shall bring upon you and your descendants extraordinary plagues, great and lasting plagues, and grievous and lasting sicknesses. So he's saying if you don't fear this esteemed and awesome name, now in your scriptures it's going to say the Lord or God, but that's not what it says in the Hebrew. It says his name, the 4 letters, Yahuwah. So let's go to Exodus 13. I'm going to read verses 13 and 15. And it says, and Moshe, which is Moses, said to Elohim, see, when I come to the children of Yasharal and say to them, the Elohim of your fathers has sent me to you, and they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? Skip down to verse 15. It says, and Elohim said further to Moshe, thus you are to say to the children of Yasharal, which is Israel, Yahuwah Elohim of your fathers, the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, which is Isaac, and the Elohim of Jacob, which is Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my remembrance to all generations. He said, this is my name. This is my remembrance. This is my memorial. This is what I shall be known as. Right here, Moshe, or Moses, is saying when he was going to deliver the people from Pharaoh out of the land of Mizraim or Egypt. He's saying, what shall I say to them? Who should I tell them sent me? He says, I am Yahuwah. This is my name. This is my memorial. This is my remembrance to all generations. So why is his name important? It's very important because if you've ever reading through the 10 Commandments, which is found in Exodus 20, or in Deuteronomy chapter 5, you get down to, I think it's the 3rd commandment. Yeah, it is the 3rd commandment. And it reads, coming from Exodus 20, verse 7, says, you do not bring the name of Yahuwah, your Elohim, to naught, for Yahuwah does not leave the one unpunished who brings his name to naught. So what that means is, a lot of people think that when you break the 3rd commandment, when you say like a swear word, or when you say like God D, something along that nature. But that's not what it's talking about. The word used here, I'm reading from the scriptures version, it says to bring his name to naught, which means brings his name to nothingness, makes his name of no effect. And what better way to bring a person's name to nothingness than to just not say it at all? Just blot it out, not even speak their name. That's bringing it to nothingness. It's not talking about swearing, saying God D or anything like that, because his name is not God. That's a title, like we already discussed. So if you're not pronouncing his name, saying his name, And now that you know this, you're actually breaking the third commandment. And that's sin, which we always talk about. Sin is the transgression of the law. The 10 commandments are a part of the law. I don't want you to get it twisted, because people say that we only have to keep the 10 commandments, but it's way more than 10. But all the commandments are there to keep you from getting into sin. They're not to harm you. They are to help you. But the carnal-minded person will never understand it. He says, if you say you know him and you don't keep his commandments, you are a liar. So if you don't even keep the commandments, then you don't know him. And a big part of knowing him is knowing his name. You don't know somebody unless you know that name. So this next scripture is coming from Joel chapter 2, verse 32. And it reads, And it shall be that everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. For on Mount Zion in Jerusalem, which is Jerusalem, there shall be an escape, as Yahuwah has said, and among the survivors whom Yahuwah calls. So right here in your scriptures, again, it probably says, and everyone who calls on the name of the Lord. But the Lord is not a name. What are you going to do? The Lord, the Lord. No, that's not his name. It says that everyone who calls on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered or shall be saved. Call him by his name. Call him by his name. We're not only supposed to know his name, but we are supposed to love his name. To love the name of Yahuwah. And I love it ever since he gave me his name. You know, I was looking for it for a while. People said that the name, the proper pronunciation had been lost, but I didn't give up, and I wasn't even looking for it. And one day he just delivered it to me, gave it to me, gave me his name. And when I saw it, I was like, wow. It just kind of sent chills down my back, and I'm thankful that he did, because I love his name, and we are supposed to love his name. I give you a few scriptures. This one right here is coming from Isaiah 56, and this one is important today too, because as you know, it's the Shabbat or the Sabbath, and that's what Isaiah 56 is talking about. A lot of people say the Sabbath was only for the Jews, but read Isaiah chapter 56. He'll show you. I'm going to read a little bit of it right now, and it reads, what verse am I in? I'm going to start in verse 4. It says, For thus said Yahuwah to the eunuchs who guard my Sabbaths, and have chosen what pleases me. Right there he's saying guarding his Sabbath pleases him. And hold fast to my covenant. To them I shall give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than that of sons and daughters. I give them an everlasting name that is not cut off. Also the sons of the foreigner, which is anybody who's not a direct descendant of Yasharal, Israel. Also the sons of the foreigner who join themselves to Yahuwah to serve him and to love the name of Yahuwah, to be his servants, all who guard the Sabbath and not profane it, and hold fast to my covenant. He said he shall hear our prayers and, give us a name better than sons and daughters. But right here it says, all who love the name of Yahuwah. We're supposed to love it. It's supposed to be a part of us. I go to Psalms chapter 5 and verse 11. It says, But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because you shelter them. And let those who love your name exult in you. Those who love your name. Again, we should love his name. It's esteemed. He said it himself. He said it's great in esteem. He said it's awesome, his name. I go to another one, Psalms chapter 69, verse 36. And it says, For Elohim shall save Zion and build the cities of Yehudah, and they shall dwell there and possess it, and the seed of his servants inherit it, and those who love his name dwell in it. Those who love his name. He said he shall save Zion and build the cities of Yehudah, and they shall dwell there and possess it, and those who love his name shall dwell there. You can't love his name if you don't know his name. It should be very important. It should be very important to you. Okay, so right now I'm going to go to some scriptures that talk about what the Messiah, Yahusha, the man you call Jesus, what he had to say about his father's name. So if you want to turn to John chapter 5 verse 43, Listen to what he says. He says, I have come in my Father's name, and you do not receive me. If another comes in his own name, him you will receive. He came in his Father's name. He bears a part of his Father's name. His Father's name, my Father's name, is Yahuwah. The Messiah's name is Yahusha. And what that means is Yah who saves, or Yah who delivers. Salvation is of Yahuwah. That's what his name means. And Hebrew names have meanings. The name Jesus, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it doesn't mean anything. It's just a name. It's not English. It's Greek and Latin names blended in, mixed together. It has no meaning. His real name means deliverance or salvation. It comes from his Father Yah. I don't want to dwell on there right now. Let's go to another scripture that's in John chapter 17 and verse 6. And listen to what the Messiah says right here. He said, I have revealed your name to the men whom you gave me out of the world. They were yours, and you gave them to me, and they have guarded your word. So what did he do? He gave them his name. He said, I have revealed your name to them. He told them what his name was. It's beautiful. Okay, still in John chapter 17 and verse 11. And it says, again, I have revealed your name to the men you gave me out of the world. They were yours, and you gave them to me, and they have guarded your word. And I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to you, set apart Father. Guard them in your name, which you have given me, so that they might be one as we are one. His name is very important. Okay, John chapter 17, verse 26. It says, and I have made your name known to them, and shall make it known, so that the love with which you love me might be in them, and I in them. It said, I have made your name known to them. The Messiah made the Father's name known. There's plenty other scripture. This is not even hitting the tip of the iceberg right here. So much scripture that involves his name. Remember, whenever you see the word Lord or God in your scriptures, and it's in all capital letters, is where they replaced his name. It was in the scriptures about close to 7,000 times. So whenever you see the name, it's not saying the Lord, or So I'm gonna end it with this one right here. People love to quote this scripture right here, but they don't even know the full meaning of it. It's in 2 Chronicles chapter 7 and verse 10. And it says, if my people who are called by my name humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. So it said, if my people who are called by my name shall humble themselves. So his people are called by his name. His people know his name. His name is not God. His name is not Lord. And this video is not to offend anybody, but I hope that if you take anything from this, that you seek and search for yourself. Look for it. His name is important. Is your name important? What if somebody wants to call you out of your name all the time? Say your name, like my name is Terrence. If somebody called me Travis, I would probably not say anything. But if you call me something totally different, it has nothing to do with my name, like Billy. Where did you get Billy from? I'm not gonna be happy about that. I probably won't even answer you if you call me that, to be honest with you. But call him by his name. I told you what his name is. Go look for it for yourself. Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Love the name. He says people are called by his name. I can't stress the importance of this enough. So I'm gonna end it with that. Shabbat, I'm gonna go rest and be thankful for this day. I hope that you are too. I'm gonna end it. Shabbat shalom. And next time hopefully, y'all willing, we can get into the Messiah's name. That's not Jesus. Look up the letter J. Start the search for yourself. And then maybe you can answer the riddle that's in Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. Who has gone up to the heavens and come down? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who established all the ends of the earth? What is his name? And what is his son's name, if you know it?